Hey guys, how are you? Happy Monday. I am coming live to you. I want to answer some of your questions that you have about meal prepping, staying on task when your schedule is crazy. I think everybody's schedule is crazy. So I want to make a case first for meal prepping. So I'm going to answer all three of those questions that were on that post. So thank you guys for asking questions so I can kind of shine some light and share some of my tips with you. But I think that we can all agree that everybody's schedule is crazy, right? So this is something that you have to learn and discipline yourself on how to do. And so I want to first make a case though for meal prepping. I don't think it's possible at all, period, end of story, to follow a meal plan like what you guys are doing with the macro maps without meal planning. Okay, and for me, something that I do is that I do it every single week. I plan out the entire week. And I'll share some of my tools with you on how I do that, but I do it for my entire family. So it's not just me that I do it for. I also plan out Jeremy's meals and my meals, and then my kids, I pack their lunches and cook them breakfast and dinner every night. So it's totally possible to do and be able to do it well. It just takes a little bit of practice, and I should say a lot of practice, and once you start doing it, it's more of just like a habit and a discipline than it is anything. Let me make a case first for meal prepping. Number one, it saves you tons of money. Okay, I used to not meal prep. I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna eat healthy, and I would end up throwing away all the bags of salad, all the apples, all the bananas, like all these things that I saw a meme the other day that said, I wish I was the person I thought I was when I bought all this produce. That was totally me. So I was spending hundreds of dollars on food that I was throwing away every single week. So this has saved me so much money to plan out my meals and exactly what I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat it. Okay, so that's the case number one. If you're feeling unmotivated to meal prep, or you're like, oh, this is so stupid, I don't want to give up my Sunday or whatever it is, then I want you to think about these benefits, okay? Number two, you don't have to clean the kitchen every single day. How awesome is it when you have everything prepped and you just grab it and go, and then all you're doing is cleaning containers and shaker bottles, right? You can just throw that right in the dishwasher and it's awesome. So that's one of the motivations that keeps me going, is like, hey, you don't have to clean the kitchen every single meal every single day. And so that to me is a huge benefit. Number three, and this is probably the biggest one for you guys trying to stay on track with your fitness goals and your health goals, weight loss, muscle gain, all that kind of stuff, is that if you have a plan in place and it's already prepped, your likelihood of sticking to it is about, I don't know, I would say 80 to 90% higher than if you just wake up in the day and think, hey, I'm just going to eat right and I'm going to pull out my macro map and I'm going to figure it out on the fly as I go. Honestly, I don't know anybody that can do that. Even if you were home all day and that's all you did, when you get hungry, if you don't have a plan, you will fail. So making sure that you have it set up, huge key. So if you're thinking about, hey, I spent all this money, I spent all this effort learning this, then it's worth it to put the time and effort into the meal prepping to make sure that you get success and you see it. So you want to think about what your goals are all the time. Like, hey, is it worth it? You can still listen to podcasts or watch TV or whatever when you're meal prepping. Don't make it into a chore, I guess. Make it into something that you look forward to doing. And then number four, it saves you tons of time. So in the long run, in the week, it will save you so much time when you are meal prepped and you're not having to think about what you need to do every single meal. Okay, so that's my case for meal prepping on why you need to do it. All right, and I'll share with you my tips on what I do every single week. And sometimes I get lazy, you guys, but still, like, we were on vacation in Florida and I wasn't even eating by my macro map, but I was still planning out breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner, and for me, it was just order, with my kids and all that kind of stuff. Like, we have to know what we're going to eat. I don't just like to wake up and not know. So for me, it's so much part of my life that even if I go off of my map and I'm not following my exact numbers and I'm on vacation and I'm, not eating the right way, I'm still very much planning it out in my head where I'm like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And with all the grocery delivery options that there are, we were able to order our groceries online, go pick them up at Walmart, and then we had food for the entire week. All our snacks, everything was planned out. So I, every single week, sit down and I plan out what I'm going to eat. Now, in the beginning, this was hard because I wasn't used to eating this way, and so it took me a lot longer. But now, typically, I don't plan out exactly what I have to eat because breakfast, snacks, lunch, snack, workout, are all the same every single day. The only thing I typically change is lunch and dinner, and those two things kind of rotate. And so when I sit down and plan out what I'm going to eat all week, those are the two things I focus on. Now, when I first started, I focused on all of it. Okay, so I sat down and I said, hey, what am I going to eat for breakfast Monday through Sunday? And I sat down and I wrote it out. And I will post down below this video, probably later today when I get home, I will post a video, or not a video, a chart that you guys can print out and use. And this is what I did. Monday, I'm having egg white spinach, you know, and then I could create my shopping list every week based on what I was going to eat, okay? And then for snack, I think it's the most important thing to plan out, because those are typically the hardest. And so I write out every single day, what are you going to eat on Monday for a snack? And the other thing that I plan out is my workout. So I schedule my workouts weekly. And I don't know if you guys, I have a planner like this. Oh, sorry, it's in October, but you guys can kind of see that. I write out every single week when I'm going to work out. And that to me, because if you're following the macro maps, you need to know when you're going to work out, because you eat differently based on your workouts. So to me, sitting down and planning out my workouts and my meals at the same time, and I sit down and I just wake up and walk out the plan that I have for that week. Now, does it always happen? No, there are some times when I have to modify, but it's a lot easier to modify a plan that you already have than try to modify something that you don't have at all, okay? So for me, planning that out, yes, right now it takes me like 10 minutes to sit down and plan out my meals and my workouts, when I'm going to work out, what meetings I have for the week, all that kind of stuff scheduled out so I know. But you know, in the beginning, it probably took about an hour or two, but over the course of the week, it saves me so much time. It's totally worth it. So sitting down, planning that out, I will post that down here. Things that I use for my snacks, you guys, I use a lot of bars and things that I can grab and go. So bars, those ready to eat tuna, anything that I can grab and go that's gonna be fast is what I do. I used to do these big meals and stuff like that, but for me that just got too hard to prep all that too, so I stopped doing that. And then for my big meal prep, typically what I do, I either do this Sunday or Monday. I don't always do it Sundays. Sometimes Sundays I don't want to cook at all, so I don't. But if you know that you didn't meal prep, as long as you had some kind of leftover or something for your lunch on Monday, then you can postpone your meal prep. And this is what I like to do. I postpone it to Monday night, and I pick a recipe. So my favorite go-to recipe right now in the winter is meatloaf. So I have a bomb meatloaf recipe that I use, and I make 3 times the amount that my family will eat tonight for dinner, and then I will package that up and we'll eat it for lunch for the next 3 or 4 days. Okay. The other thing that I love, and I've posted it before, is that pre-made chicken. You can get it from Costco, from Aldi, from Walmart. That pulled chicken is so good. And then that way you don't even have to meal prep. And so if you don't have the time to cook, then that's a really good option to get those. And then you could separate those out even into your lunches, or if you're not cooking for a whole family, then you could make that your meal for the night. But just making sure that you have it and it's written down like, hey, Monday night, that's what I'm doing. Tuesday night, that's what I'm doing. My nighttime snack, this is what I do every single day. But I've really found that writing it out and scheduling it out is the only way to really make sure that you don't skip meals and don't skip snacks. Okay, so that when your day gets crazy, you're not like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to be doing? What day is it? Did I eat my snack? You already know. Like if you work and you know that you're going to be working during your snack time, then you have to make sure that you have something in your bag that you can eat, like go hide in the bathroom and eat it, right? Or like for us, if we're on the floor, if I know that I'm coaching a class, but that's also my snack time, then I'm gonna make sure that I have something that I can either drink or eat while I'm walking around coaching. So, and my schedule changes almost every day. It's never the same. And so I have to know exactly where I'm gonna be and what I'm gonna be doing to make sure that I have it ready. Okay, so that is my biggest recommendation, is start writing it out. Pick a day. It doesn't have to be Sunday. I don't like meal prepping on Sunday, so it doesn't have to be Sunday. But you do have to have that time when you can sit down and write it all out, so that when you wake up and your day is crazy, because everybody's day is crazy, that you can just wake up and walk it out. If you don't have that plan in place when you wake up, it's going to be really hard to stick to and follow your plan, okay? Like I said before, it's so much easier to change and adjust a plan you already have made than trying to make those decisions when you're hangry, people are wanting you to do things, you're at work, you know what I mean? So making sure, like, there's gonna be all those stresses, you can't control what's going to happen in your day a lot of the times, and I understand that, but you can control having a plan going into that day, all right? So I think that's the number one key, is making sure you have a plan and understanding how important it is to your success in this plan, because it's not about like, hey, I nailed that one day. But if you look back on your day and you're like, oh, hey, or your week or your month, and you're like, hey, I keep missing this snack, or I keep missing nighttime snack, or I keep missing this, then that to me is just an indication that you need a better plan going into it. And so meal prepping will solve all those problems. It will solve all your problems in eating and making sure that you're on track. Now, are you going to have setbacks? Yeah. You're going to have times when somebody's like, hey, come out to eat with me. And then you can adjust and, change what you need to do. But again, if you didn't have a plan going in, then you're going to be like, yeah, because I have no plan. And the other thing too is when I have a plan, then I'm not like, okay, I'm going to go run into here and grab something. So I hope that helps y'all. I will post down here it's just a basic like grid that you plan out all your meals on. And I think writing it out, if you're struggling with hitting all your meals and you're not motivated to meal prep, then having that plan will help you. And so those are my biggest tips. And the other thing too is that I pick, like, basically for breakfast every single morning, I pick one protein and then rotate my carbohydrates, right? That helps kind of give variety without making it so stressful for me. So I can wake up and still have that freedom. So my personality, I'm like an I person. I don't like structure. So I want you to know this too, that I am not naturally like this, okay? I've had to learn how to do this. And so that gives me, my mind, a little bit of freedom to choose how I feel that day. Like, hey, I don't want a banana, I want oatmeal, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for me, it's like, okay, yeah, it gives me that variety. I always have egg whites, spinach, and tomatoes for my protein. And then if I have fat, then I'm going to put like avocado or something on there. But that is my breakfast every single morning. For snack, it's always a bar, because I'm never home for my snack. And so I need to be able to, I literally throw like 4 or 5 in my purse. So I don't even have to pack it when I leave the house. I just grab my purse and it's in there. So I know my snack is always a bar, like 3 or 4 hours later. And then during my workouts, the same thing. I always do a shake. It's never different. It's just a different flavor. But then I don't have to think about it. And then for my post-workout meal, that's a little bit different. That's when I do lunch. And that's usually, that gives me the most freedom, because it's whatever I had prepped, or if I had the pre-cooked chicken, or I always have rice that's cooked at home. So I usually prep those things in my meal prep days. I usually do extra rice too, or extra whatever the carb is when I'm cooking that bigger meal. And that's always how I do meal prep. I don't ever typically sit down and cook a whole bunch of food and then not eat. So I always plan it around dinner time so that I'm cooking just one time. All right. And then for dinners, we use something called eMeals. Okay. That is an app on my phone. Absolutely love, love, love it. It plans out, so I get to pick the recipes. You have to pay for it. I'll post the link here, but you have to pay for it. It's about, I think, $60 for the year, but you pick what kind of like diet you want to eat. I always pick healthy 30-minute meals, or I think low carb if I'm in a cut. You still have to weigh and measure everything, and I just don't pick meals, so you get to pick what recipes you want every week, and it adds it to a shopping list. And then here's the best part. If you are busy and like your schedule is crazy and you hate grocery shopping like me, you can send your grocery list to Instacart, which they will deliver, and then you just like put it in your cart. I don't know if you've ever used that before. I'll post a link to that too. Even if you don't use eMeals, you can plan out your meals with the thing I put down here, and then you can send it to Instacart. So do all your shopping from home on your phone, and then they will deliver it to your house. deliver it to your house. It's so sweet. And what's cool about that too is that you don't need a BJ's membership or a Costco membership. They will do it for you. So you don't even need the memberships to be able to do that. So that's pretty awesome. So that's what I do for my dinners, is that's where I get my recipes from. I just typically don't pick recipes that are in one pot or they'll say one pan meal. I'm like, okay, unless I can separate out my protein, carbs, and fats, it's not going to work for me. And so you do have to modify some of the recipes, but it's not that hard. Once you have a base recipe to do it in a plan, then you're able to do it a lot easier. So that's called eMeals. I've been using that now for about 4 years and I absolutely love it. So I highly recommend that. But if you like Pinterest, you like going and finding your own recipes, then there's tons of resources to be able to do that, to find different recipes so you're not eating chicken, broccoli, and rice all the time. Although I do love that. It is my staple go-to when I have nothing, like if I didn't go grocery shopping or whatever, I always have frozen chicken and rice and broccoli that I can eat. That is not something that you want to be eating every single day for your entire life, right? So you don't have to. So eMeals and then Instacart. I recommend Instacart, or you can do Walmart grocery. They also will deliver, but you can go pick it up for free. But that just saves you time, and it also saves you from picking a whole bunch of crap off the aisles and off the things that you just see that you think you want. But it just helps you make the right choices. So I think that is huge. Yeah. Yes. Allison, exactly. That Walmart grocery is like the best thing ever invented. Instacart also better, because now I never have to go to Costco. They just added it if you're in our area. So you'll have to check, Allison. Well, I think you're close enough too, but you just have to check Instacart before you join to see if it's worth it, because a lot of the stores, it just depends on where they are. But it's been a lifesaver for me too, because I hate grocery shopping and I need to go every single week. So yeah, those are my tips for you guys. If you have any questions, any other tips that you guys have that I didn't share, because I know everybody's different, so it's going to be too on your preference and things like that. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get away from not planning out what you need to do every single day. And whether that's for the whole week or whether that's, for day by day, then whatever. But I know for a fact, if you don't have a plan, it's not going to work well for you. I've tried it. Believe me, my personality type wants to be able to do that, but it can't. Okay. And honestly, it's given me more freedom and more happiness and joy doing this process when I already know what I'm supposed to do. So when I wake up and I know what I'm supposed to do, it makes it so much easier. I feel better about myself because I'm keeping the commitments I made, and I'm keeping the promises I made to myself to eat well, to lose weight, whatever my goal is at the time. And my whole family benefits too, because it's not like every day, we don't have that dinner time. What's for dinner? Like, it's already planned out. We know what's for dinner. Jeremy knows what's for dinner. If I get called in or I have to stay later or whatever, then he can pick up and do the recipe because it's already there. So, all right, I hope that helps you guys. I hope that shines some light into how to do that efficiently and effectively when you're busy, when you got families and all that kind of stuff. And go out there and crush it. Let's crush this month. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.